I've been diagnosed with myasthenia gravis, which is essentially an interruption of the nervous impulses traveling from the brain to the muscles, and it's interrupted at the neuromuscular junction.
I've been diagnosed of inflammatory myopathy. I was diagnosed in December 2007.
I had a spondylosis on the cervical and then on the lumbar. And I had a surgery on the cervical. And I came out of the surgery with a Zimmer frame.
I have an autoimmune disease, which is, I have to say, not as serious as other people I've known and even met with at Share Care, including people in my family. I've had a thyroid ailment that has presented in different forms. I've been hyperthyroid, I've had Graves' disease, I've also had subacute thyroiditis, and now I have, I'm hypo.
Share Care Ghana is an association of people with autoimmune and neurological conditions in Ghana, including our families and caregivers. Autoimmune diseases were thought to be rare, but are now being found in increasing numbers in Ghana, and many are going undiagnosed.
It started by 79 and then it started. I thought I was going to be a problem, and I called Dr. Biao. I started all my problems in year 99. I both from the fracture, to POP. To me, POP, and I fell into me Nancy Bill. I started the use to crutches in 1999. The crutches in one use here until last year. I'm also both from now, with tiny. I'm also some POP. It's
taken more than 30 years to be diagnosed, really. If I really tell you, I started complaining very seriously about these symptoms about 25 years ago. I went to neurologists, I was misdiagnosed with epilepsy, I was put on epilepsy medication, I was put on various medications which I now know are contraindicated for the condition that I've been diagnosed with.
Out of 100 members of Share Care Ghana with similar and familiar symptoms, only 37 have been diagnosed with autoimmune or neurological conditions.
I must have seen about 4 doctors, and then I eventually ended up in South Africa. South Africa, they were not too sure about it. They said it was some human trophic lymph virus or something, I don't know, HLV2 or something like that. It sounded like something else. But I finally got my diagnosis after 4 years in the US. When I just went to see a general practitioner, and he took one look at me and he said, "Go and test for MS." You know, and I went and I had a series of tests and it was confirmed.
For this reason, we wish to bring autoimmunity under the doctor's radar when they are examining their patients.
Myasthenics usually have quite noticeably drooping eyelids, but because mine are not extreme, I'm not classic, because I'm not extreme, it was never detected. But when this guy said it, I didn't think it was anything. But when I mentioned it to the neurosurgeon, the way he sat up and then said, you've got to do the tensilon test.
We are aware that autoimmunity has yet to be embraced by the medical community as a category of disease because the diseases cross the different medical specialties such as rheumatology, endocrinology, hematology, neurology, cardiology, gastroenterology, nephrology, and dermatology.
I was having trouble walking, my balance was uncoordinated, and during my second pregnancy I was having problems with my gas. First time they diagnosed me with TM, it wasn't TM. So they gave me steroids, the usual treatment, and I got better. I came to Ghana, I got better. I went back and I got worse. I came to Ghana, I got better. I went back and I got worse. So basically I guess Ghana is the good plan for me.
And because such specialties usually focus on singular diseases within their particular category, there has been virtually no general focus on autoimmunity as the underlying cause.
I have family members who have not been so lucky because my sister, 4 years ago, started having very acute symptoms. We couldn't diagnose it here, and we found out when we took her abroad to the UK, just on the verge of, potential tragedy, that she had lupus.
We think a classification of autoimmunity, considering our family histories and connecting all the seemingly unrelated symptoms, will lead to quicker diagnosis and save us from the disabling effects of these diseases.
The doctors convinced me if I go on this surgery, I'll be alright. After the surgery on the cervical, they were preparing me for the lumbar surgery. But I feared if I went for this surgery on lumbar, I may not be able to stand up again. But that's why I don't go for this medical analysis again.
Early diagnosis makes all the difference in the management and control of our conditions.
There was a day I insisted that no, I think there was something more to what was happening to me, so I think they should rather refer me to a physician specialist. Even though it was difficult at the initial stages, I was lucky I was given a referral.
Our appeal to the doctors is to grant us early referrals when they notice the symptoms of autoimmunity.
When people come these days, I advise them on what it could be when I hear people that they've known have suffered a certain ailment and have died. 25, 26-year-olds. Symptoms that people mistook in their regions as being AIDS, HIV/AIDS, and the doctor would have said it's not, they've done the HIV/AIDS. I said, could it have been lupus? Who knows?
Doctor Kedam a lab. A lab in the means can go into the bear 1 month in the Miko. This year, I'm making a will be back. And I the medical association of born and between Koya Lab now. And I'm scared lab.
The members of ShareCare Ghana believe that autoimmunity should be accepted as a new disease category, and with this recognition, have a special place in the National Health Insurance Scheme.
I can talk, I can eat, I can feed myself.
And your medication?
Yes, I'm on prednisone as a therapy.
Well, I'm back at work. I'm talking to you from work. I've built myself up gradually. I'm at work every day now. Initially, I couldn't even go to work. I couldn't do anything. I could just about sit up in bed at one point. I slept many hours a day, and even when I wasn't sleeping, I was just lying there.
I know the disease. I'm at peace with myself. I know it's going to get worse, but I mean, we're all programmed to self-respect.